Pull your heart out. We've been waiting on this game for 84 years.
Let's go.
I don't know how bad they want to be here, but I know how bad I want to be here.
This is about you playing for each other. Only no heroes tonight. Heroes are gonna come in what we do.
Family on three. 1, 2, 3, family!
Can you believe it? Believe it.
Football is tradition.
Hey. Football is how we grew up.
Football is spirit.
Football is a way of life.
It brings people from different races, ethnic groups, everything together.
Football saved me from being 6 feet under or in jail somewhere.
1, 2, 3.
Football means never giving up and really becoming a family.
I watch football every chance that I get. It's aggression, it's passion.
Football teaches discipline. Sometimes you fail. It teaches how to do things that are hard.
Get up in his breastplate, right on the ball!
I dislike the injuries in football, concussions, and I don't know, even a sprained toe I worry about.
I'm fine. They say I have a concussion.
He stayed for 5 years and won 7 games. That was a bunch of garbage, man.
Football is, to some people, like their God, really.
Football is my vacation from everyday life.
Football is drinking beer on a Saturday with your friends.
That's what we talk about 365, 24/7.
Wow, what a catch! Oh my God! They did it! How about that? It is football!
Welcome to Houston, Texas, site of Super Bowl 51. I'm Bob Lee, and this is Outside the Lines Prime Time. Football forever. Football is America's game. Football with all the passion and hope that people, families invest in it, as well as the challenges it faces across lines of class, race, and geography. Football forever? Well, there's the obvious question of player safety, especially concussions in the face of growing science, and the prospect that the pool of youngsters wanting to play this game may continue to decline as for much of the past decade. But over the next hour, our trip across America to large cities and small towns will also show you the unifying power of football, the possibilities of what the game can provide. Yes, materially, but also in life lessons. We begin in a Pennsylvania town similar to dozens of others across that state, which we're told decided November's election. A town more than 1,300 miles from here where young men face a future with a fork in the road and football standing squarely in the middle.
Clairton was a beautiful city. The steel mill here was the heartbeat of the town. In the 80s, with the steel mill, a lot of jobs were being lost because of outsourcing. It kind of turned into a town that was thriving to a town that now was kind of suffering and barely making it. A lot of people started moving out of the town. People that lived here in the community owned businesses here, and they're pretty much all gone. To my left here used to be a large appliance store, which is no longer here. It's just full of boarded up windows. It's just not a lot here. You know, the school and the football program and a few businesses still kind of holding on. It's football or the streets and selling drugs and stuff like that. I know a few of my friends that have taken the wrong path, hustling, guns get involved. It's just a series of bad judgments.
Get him up. Chop. Whistle.
There's not a lot here for these kids, so they use football to give them an opportunity on life. The other road out there for them is pretty bleak. Football is what I've been dedicating my life to since I was 4. I just pray that I could find a way out of Clairton and become successful from it. It means a lot for this community, for this program to be successful, and these kids really take pride in being #1 every year.
After my senior year, we ended our legacy 64-1, 4 state championships all back-to-back.
Tyler Boyd meant a lot to the winning streak. He kind of took the program to another level.
My time at Clairton kept inspiring me to see how far I can take my potential.
To have a career like he did at NAHAL, playing for the Cincinnati Bengals, means so much to this community. It affected Lamont to want to be that next Tyler Boyd, to be state champion. And Division I scholarship offers were all the things that he talked about and dreamed about.
I just seen how hard he worked and how much it paid off, and I just couldn't wait to get up in high school and for that to be me one day.
I ain't gonna let you down.
This year, we're still undefeated. This is a huge week. This game may be the biggest game in the history of Clairton.
We know ALIQUIPPA's tradition. We respect their tradition. Mike Ditka, Darrell Reeves, we know what they're built of, and we just can't wait to face that task.
It's the morning of a big game. You can feel it in the air. Anticipation for this one is huge.
That walk up to the stadium before the ALIQUIPPA game, cars blowing their horns.
Go time. I don't get jitters, but I'm getting ready.
Fans recognizing you. The rain just kept pouring down. It didn't stop at all.
Everybody coming to the game of the year, the game of the century, the game that everybody wanted to see.
It's all y'all. Pull your heart out. They're not built like us. We come from a different club. They don't respect us. They said Clairton don't play no competition. They sing away. They don't play nobody. We've been waiting on this game for 84 years. Let's go.
The team is focused. They're all about business, and I like it when they're that way.
It's game time, right? But this is what you got to understand. You're not playing for yourself. You're playing for the whole entire community. Everybody from 1932 to 2016 that didn't get to play ALIQUIPPA. I'm one of them. See all these dudes behind me? All these dudes that put a bear uniform on, had Clairton across their chest, and wanted the day to play ALIQUIPPA. They wanted that day. Y'all got it. It's here, and we're gonna show them tonight. If we play Clairton Bear football, we on top. I promise you that, because all these dudes standing behind me wish they could put that jersey on right now. Wish they could put it on. Only know heroes tonight. Heroes are gonna come in what we do. Let's do what we do.
Sold out and soggy. We are underway.
I did anything to play in that game. Two powerhouses going at it like you couldn't miss it.
We gotta bring the noise, Jeff. We gotta bring the noise.
Up the middle, McKenzie shrugs off a tackle. Here he goes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Quips. For Clairton, not the start they were looking for.
Guys, listen. We already know, right? They're not better than us. You done played the first series with them. We should have stopped them.
I looked in all their eyes, and I saw no fear.
We gave them one. We ain't giving them no more. Let's go.
Snap is good, but he is sacked.
Looking down at ALIQUIPPA, you see who's scared and who's ready to play by just looking them in their eyes.
ISO! 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 ISO!
Over the middle, tipped and intercepted by Lamont Wade. A one-handed pick by Lamont Wade. How about that? Noah Hamlin with nobody in front of him. 59 yards and Clairton right back in it.
You're not that good. You're not that good. You did right.
I think my team truly believed now. They're in our house, they're on our field. Let's come back and get the game.
Here is Wade. He's got it in his hands. And look out, he hurdles one. He is still on his feet. Lamont Wade gets a lot, and he is gone.
I knew they were going for my legs, so I just thought I'd jump over him.
Dang, that's crazy. Like, he made one of the top plays in Clairton history.
For the second half, Lamont pretty much took over the game.
Here is Wade. He leaped one. He's still on his feet. He is down the sideline, and there goes Lamont Wade again. And Lamont Wade having the night of his life in maybe the game of the year.
Our kids are truly now believing that ALIQUIPPA doesn't belong on the field with us.
Here's a handoff. Wade, he's got nobody to catch him. Inside the 10 and into the end zone. Lamont Wade, 4 rushing touchdowns and an interception on defense.
I think they thought that they would come down to little old Clairton and dominate us. But everybody here in the city of Clairton thought differently.
Two of the great programs in Western Pennsylvania, and Clairton comes out on top.
It was just one of the best games ever. Like, I was a proud Clairton alum.
It means a lot to not just us, but it meant a lot to my community. People were telling me that they could go to work with a smile on their face.
From the class of 1983, thank y'all for kicking it. See what I'm saying? Listen. All the guys from 1932 that wanted to play ALIQUIPPA didn't get an opportunity. You played tonight for all of those guys.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
All of them dudes. That's what it's about. One heartbeat. Whole community. One heartbeat.
I know how much it means to the city of Clairton to win this game. With the football program having so much success, this town still has a heartbeat.
We hit the field like, and it sound like, our offense like, D-block like, our goals like, yeah!
We committed ourselves. Every day, guys were there, working hard, getting after it. All for today. Leave it out there on the field, guys.
Let's go!
Look at Lamont Wade and his efforts to try and get things going. Anything he has gained has really been tough to come by.
Clairton comes up short. Heartache for Lamont Wade. Wanted so badly to get back here to try to get that first state championship, but he'll come up empty.
This one is over, right? We dust ourselves off. We get out of here with class.
Ahead, we'll travel just 15 miles down the road from Clairton, Pennsylvania to Pittsburgh, where for Steelers fans, following their beloved team is an act of faith. At this Iowa high school, a coach uses the game to help his players off the field. And in Georgia, a young boy tries to break away from his family's considerable legacy.
Those are the hardest words I've ever heard. Mom, I don't want to play football.
That's still to come on this Outside the Lines primetime special.
We're in the South, and we love our football. This team 20-0, and you still worry about it. You talk about it all the time.
He stayed for 5 years and won 7 games.
Sometimes I wish we could talk about something else.
That is a bunch of garbage, man.
Welcome back to Houston, site of Super Bowl 51. According to the head of all California high school sports, We're at a critical moment for high school football. Questions of numbers and parental concerns about safety. Now, anecdotally, we hear of high schools across the country dropping the sport or consolidating programs. As for the so-called pipeline problem, in the 5 years ending in 2014, the number of youngsters ages 6 through 17 playing tackle football dropped 18%, with another 1% decline in 2015. To address this trend, the NFL made a $45 million grant to USA Football to introduce safety measures and coaching training with mixed results. Now USA Football is planning major changes to the youth game. Fewer players on a smaller playing field and elimination of kick returns. This is a leading neurologist recommends that kids not play tackle football before the age of 14. Keep that in mind as you watch the opening moments of our next visit with one of the first families of the NFL.
Youth football in the state of Georgia is huge.
Good morning, guys.
There is competition leagues as early as 4 years old, and it's not a joke.
My name is Monet Bartell. I'm from Marietta, Georgia. I am the mother of a genius and the daughter of a legend.
Cross your legs.
My son's name is C. Parker Bartell. When he turned 4, I literally couldn't sleep that night going to register my son for football. I'm like, oh my gosh, tomorrow he's signing up for football. I'm so excited, giddy, excited. Called my dad, my brothers. I'm like, Parker's about to be a real live football player at 4.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, run, run, run.
Run, bud, run, run. Keep going, bud, keep going.
Football is the life's blood of this family. So I just knew that Parker was going to be playing football. He's a FARR. It's in his blood. If it's not, there's nothing to tell you. All you got to do is say he's a FARR.
There is an unusual amount of FARRs or from the FARR lineage that have gone on to play football in the NFL. That's a pretty rare thing.
So we've got my dad, that's Mel Farr Sr. He played for the Detroit Lions. Then after him, we have Mel Farr Jr., my brother, Michael Farr, my brother, my Uncle Miller, DeMarco Farr, DeLeon Farr. That's immediate family. Then we've got Jerry Levias, Clancy Jr., and Jerry Ball. I would love to hear C. Parker Bartell on that list one day. Could you imagine? Touchdown, C. Parker Bartell! What? That's insane. I would love to hear that one day.
My name is C. Parker Bartell, and I'm 10 years old. This big thing is my football trophy. I played football when I was 4 or 5 years old. I felt like I was my grandpa. I felt like I was just like him, basically. My grandpa's name was Mel Farr. I called him Papa. What I know about him is that he was a famous football player. He owned a car dealership, and he was a superstar.
The continuing adventures of Mel Farr, Superstar, fighting high prices to bring you a far better deal.
Yes, I'm fighting high prices with my low money lease players. Football is a lot like buying a car.
My dad created an action hero. They don't refer to him as Mel Farr. They say, hey, Superstar. They're Superstar. And he loved it.
Mel Farr, Superstar.
For a far better deal.
I always liked those commercials.
When my dad first laid eyes on Parker, he said, oh man, this boy gonna be something else on the football field. Man, I ain't never seen a baby this big. So my dad was excited to see Parker play football. Hit, bud! Hit, bud!
Parker, keep him moving.
He was knocking guys out. Parker's a big kid, and he was bigger than everybody out there. And I remember one time the coach said, go hit this guy, and he laid him out.
He had the ball, and I didn't want him to get a touchdown, so I ran really fast and tackled him. But it was in a lot of mud, so I really felt bad for the kid.
He could hear him starting to cry. So, he felt for him. So, just decided, hey, this is not for me. just stopped playing. He just stopped. And he's been retired for 4 years now, I think, 4 or 5 years.
Football is just something I don't want to do with my life, basically.
Those are the hardest words I've ever heard. Mom, I don't want to play football. Broke my heart. He didn't like hurting other people. He didn't like the violence. You don't have to play football, babe.
Okay. All you do is like run, tackle, run again, and tackle people. People get injured. I don't really know why that's fun.
That was the last chance for it to be a third generation FARR football player.
My father passed away on August 3rd of 2015.
Now that was the hardest day of my life. Out of the blue, my father literally dropped dead from a massive heart attack at 70 years old. We made the decision to donate my father's brain and spinal cord for further testing for CTE. We got the results back not too long ago, and my daddy was at stage 3 of 4 with CTE.
When my father was alive, we talked about CTE. My brother and I would joke that, you know, Dad, it's obvious you have to be suffering from it only because of the type of equipment that he played with and the way the game was played back then.
I knew he was losing his memory. Things that my dad should remember, he couldn't remember. My dad, for some time, had been suffering. I cried because I have 2 brothers that played in the NFL. Who also share the same symptoms. And what that means for them.
There's some aggression that I have, and but the memory loss is tremendous. I'll walk into a room and forget what I came in there for or why I came in the room. Don't you want to do that one day? No. You don't? If Parker said, hey, I want to play football, and I wouldn't say, hey, you know, there's certain things that are effects that you're going to have with CTE, and I wouldn't discourage him from playing. I would tell him to go head out there and play.
I absolutely think Parker should participate in football if he wants to. Violence is just a part of the game. That's the fun part about the game.
I don't really think that's gonna happen. I wanted to kind of like enjoy my childhood.
Parker is currently the mascot at his elementary school. He's so proud of that.
I just go around dressing the mascot and make kids happy, basically.
How cool is that? My son is the mascot with a cape, and his pawpaw with a cape. Huh? He's a superstar! Should you let your kids play football? Only if they want to. Only if you're clear and you understand the possible dangers of the game. Would I let my son play football? Absolutely. Hey, mascots get a ring too, then I'd be okay with that.
Still ahead, a young quarterback in Davis, California will do anything to win his mother's permission to play this game. And in Des Moines, for these players, the struggle on the field is dwarfed by the struggle off it. And you'll visit a desert town where the game is down and dirty.
When a young man tells me that they're having a problem with the dirt, I say rub some dirt on it.
Football Forever, an Outside the Lines primetime special.
a town just outside of Death Valley. The sights, barren.
First thing that hits you is the smell, and then you see the plant. And you see all the smoke in the air from the refinery. And there's a little chemical stench to it, which we're used to here in Trona. Then you run smack dab into the high school, which is in the middle of town. The pit has been around for many, many years. We're the only dirt field that I know of.
Grass has been grown here, but it's very expensive. First, we water the field, and we put about between 6,000 and 8,000 gallons before a game. Then you put a drag on it, get good and loosened up. We have a big roller, and it flattens it out, nice and smooth. Then we put the lines down. Most schools use chalk. We use sodium sulfate, which is processed and sold by the chemical plant here in town.
The dirt field is a motivation for us. It's something that you got to take pride in because it's unique.
The one thing that I try to coach the kids is don't let the dirt affect who you are or how you play the game.
It's a home field advantage because people come here and they're not used to it. You get tackled, you get sand in your pants and in your helmet and in your shoulder pads and starts rubbing you raw.
Getting the dirt in your eyes, it burns. It burns really bad.
When a young man tells me that they're having a problem with the dirt, I say rub some dirt on it. We love the dirt, we're from the dirt, and Trona tradition is in the dirt.
From the dirt of Trona, welcome back to Houston. This is OTL Primetime. Consider the challenges for a high school football coach in Iowa, up against problems larger than the condition of his playing field. Issues such as the homelessness that afflicts 2 million American teenagers each year, or kids' dangerously easy access to illegal handguns. And the face of the teen population is increasingly diverse. In Iowa's largest city, the minority population is growing at rates as much as 6 times that of whites. There are haves and there are have-nots. And then there is North High School.
We've got kids from Vietnam, we've got kids from Liberia, Tanzania, the Sudan, Ivory Coast, Philippines.
This school, this team could show America something about coming together as a family. My name is Shaan, Quinlan, and I'm the head football coach at North High School. All right, all right. Hey, bring it in. Yeah! Roughly 1,380 students. 28 different languages are spoken in our hallways. 44 different ethnicities.
Set, ready to go.
We are the poorest school in the state of Iowa. 88% of our kids live below the poverty line.
So that means a lot of our kids come to school hungry and go home hungry every night. And that's a fact.
How bad you want it, baby? Drive, stay low, get!
It's not for the meek and timid. You better be bringing it because these kids,
Let's go!
they want to be loved. They yearn for hope. How do we get them to find out what's in their heart? What makes them cry? What makes them laugh? You got to get to know who they are.
My name is Devin King. I'm a senior at North High. Football saved me from being 6 feet under or in jail somewhere.
Devin, back up!
At first, I'm like, who is this white guy? I don't care about this guy. He's just, another coach that thinks they're going to tell us what to do.
Devin King, unbelievable energy. Didn't know how to harness it. He's got a temper. Okay? Devin will fight. Drop of a hat.
My father, he was in and out of jail. My mom abused me. She just couldn't stop, and she kept hitting me and kept hitting me. For me to fight, it was like a way out, Like I couldn't let someone just hit me anymore, I had to do the hitting. I did not live at home at all. I was staying with good friends, from couch to couch. Just walked around with this big old duffel bag of clothes. I remember one time, Thanksgiving, I actually didn't have nowhere to go. I was at McDonald's, washed myself up in McDonald's and brushed my teeth. I started gangbanging. I started doing lots of stuff I wasn't proud of. I used to always, have a gun. I used to take it everywhere. I can't get cornered. I'm gonna have to shoot back if I have to.
I went to 2 combat tours to Iraq, and I was selected to Lieutenant Colonel. And today is just a special day. Anytime we can promote a Marine, it's a big day. The Marine Corps got my best, and a lot of time my family got what was left over. And I had to make a decision.
We didn't have Shaan home for a lot of holidays. We didn't have him home for birthdays. Our 2 daughters played basketball, and he had to miss a lot of those games, and that was difficult. The girls missed his presence there, and I was excited that Owen might be able to have that.
My son was getting older. My pride said stay in the Marine Corps, and my heart said get out. What's going on in the Middle East? You might want to tell me. A job opened up here at North High School for the Marine Corps Junior ROTC. So I taught for 2 years before I took the football job. I've been with them for 3 years. First year we didn't win any games. We were beaten by an average of 55 points a game.
Come on, we're not out of it yet, buddy. Come on, let's go.
Last year we won 1 game, but humility is the foundation of excellence.
You hold your head up high. That's what we do. Quit looking at that scoreboard. The scoreboard I want to see is 5 and 10 and 15 years from now, when you become the leaders of this community.
He's put mindsets and different things in my head that I never thought I can see. Like, where do I want to go in life? You know, what kind of man I want to be.
What's it do? Get mad.
Yeah.
This is about life.
Yeah.
You quit now, we quit in life.
Yeah. I could have lost my life just by trying to fight for my gang, you know. I stopped gangbanging. I threw a Glock 49. I threw it into the river. By me having this gun, it's going to set me up to shoot someone or for failure. So I said, why have it? Good job, good job. This past summer, 3 days before football season started, I didn't have nowhere to live. So I came over here, actually, and I cried to Coach Quinlan.
Lo and behold, our quarterback from last year was standing right there when Devin was crying, telling us the story. He said, Coach, I'll take him in.
Hey, guys.
What's up?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
How's school?
It was good.
It was good? Long?
3 days before school started, I moved in, and I got pretty emotional. I had my own bed. I still have the video. I got my own bed. My own bed. For me to have my clothes in a drawer, it was something, like, significant to me. Like, it was something, like, even talking about it gives me the chills because I was like, I don't have to carry it in this duffel bag anymore.
Hey, there comes a time in your life when you got to stand up for who you are and what you represent.
They come from all corners of the globe. All these cultures getting along and playing together for one common goal.
Let's go! Let's go!
My name is ALIQUIPPA. First name LAHKA, middle name BRU, last name HTLO. ALIQUIPPA. I was born in a refugee camp in Thailand. I moved to America when I was 7 or 8 years old. I didn't know anything about football. Nothing. I joined football because I was overweight.
Go!
He had the lineman size and he had the work ethic.
Go!
So we went to work.
On the hop, let's go!
He motivated me a lot to be better than who I am, to work for something I believe in. Originally, my parents lived in Burma because of the civil war that was going on over there. They couldn't stay because they burned the house down, they burned the whole village down. My dad worked about 9 or 10 hours a day, every day. He'd cut meat. He came back 2 or 3 in the morning every day. He's working for me. He's working to provide something for my family. It's a blessing to have a dad like that.
All seniors with their parents, please go to the southwest corner of the football stadium. All seniors with their parents.
I think my mom and my sister might be there because my dad go to work.
Next up, we have La Ka Bru Chu.
He's working butt off like every day. He's hustling every day. I can't ask for much more than that. I just can't.
You see, I know what makes you cry. And I know what makes you happy. And I know what's in your heart. Devin, where are you at? This is about you. When no one would take you in, but who took you in?
The family here.
The family took you in. This is about family.
I want to succeed in life and be successful and be the best I can be to show him that what he did for me and what he did for my teammates, you know, is going to benefit.
I've learned a lot here. I've grew a lot here. Connection between me and Coach, like a father and son.
I love you, man.
He was there when my father couldn't be there. He's there to watch over me.
Your dad should be awful proud of you, because I'm proud of you.
It's love, man. It's just love.
Shaan's not just coaching, he's also mentoring. So it entails a lot more than just showing up for practice and game day.
No pressure there.
It's 12 months a year.
The rush is on.
Trying to find balance is hard. Toll that it takes, personally, family time.
Tight window.
Owen was getting ready to go into high school, and he would be playing football as well, and he too would have games, and you can only be one place at one time.
The reason I wanted to coach football, men, is because I was a U.S. Marine, and I love leading men, okay? I led men in battle, and the camaraderie that I have seen here in the last 3 years, okay, I'm going to miss. I will not be your head football coach next year. My son's like you guys. He's a young man going into high school, going to play a little football, going to play a little baseball. I owe it to my son to spend more time with him. And that was the reason I got out of the Marine Corps. It was because of my family. And you guys are always my family. You know you can come to me at any time.
I want to cry, but I understand, like, you know, that's good for him to be like, oh, you know, I want to be involved in my son's life. It's not fair for me to not see my kids grow up.
This is hard, man. Neither, man.
You gotta take care of family first, so you won't regret it later in life.
Hey, I'm gonna miss you too.
That's what he's doing, and I respect
Hey,
that.
man. Love you, man.
You don't reach everybody. That's just the reality.
Alante.
You know I believed in you, right? But if we reach one, I won. That's how I look at it.
You know I love you, man.
All the things that you etched on the souls of these young men, they continue. And that's a beautiful thing.
One team, one family, one North. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family!
Next, what's it like to be married to football? And what one youngster actually did to win permission to play football.
And he brings down that index card, and I look at it and I think, did I sign that? Yeah, I did sign that.
That's still to come on this Outside the Lines primetime special.
Carlton, Texas is a small rural community. Good morning. They love their kids, they love their sports, and they love God.
We forgive those who trespass against us.
I'm Elizabeth Ward. I'm a mother, a teacher, and the wife of a football coach. Football literally puts the food on my table.
Get him! Turn around!
My husband has been coaching high school football for 20 years.
Keep going!
We have lived in 5 different towns over a span of 20 years and have taught at 6 different schools. It's time to get up, Andy. It's time to get up. Y'all need to get up. It's like literally you got 5 minutes. There is no me time when you're married to a football coach and have 3 kids in school playing football. My life revolves around my family. Our life centers around football, and I wouldn't really have it any other way.
Welcome back to Houston, site of Super Bowl 51. The women in football, the moms, they are usually the gatekeepers to the population of future players, the ones who must be convinced that for all of football's classic proven values, the sense of team, goal setting, perseverance, for all the positives. Still, the specter of injuries, especially concussions, begs that question, why let them play? Our journey tonight returns to the West Coast and a family whose background leaves them unfamiliar with football.
I can't even imagine like the pressure that my mom was under, thinking that like it wasn't a good idea as a mom to let her son play football, especially when her son's me, skinny little Indian kid, so I couldn't even imagine.
I was born and raised in California. I didn't play sports at all. There was zero value for sports. In fact, if I even considered it, I knew it would be a no. My dad and my mom were strictly all about us going to college.
It's kind of like the Indian culture, you know, school first, school first. I first started playing sports when I was 6 years old, and wherever we'd go, I'd bring a football with me, no matter where it was. My mom would always bring up, like, why do you want to play football? Like, don't you want to play, like, tennis or something like that?
Hey, what are you guys doing?
So Shaan, he's just this charismatic, happy, sport-minded kid. Sometimes I just look at him and think, wow, did I produce that? And to be honest, like seeing a little 9-year-old kid in pads and a helmet, I thought it was pretty cute.
I stood out as being, like, one of the smallest kids on the team. I'd look on the other side and be like, wow, like, those kids are big.
Then I started to hear things about the dangers of football around that time. So I said, this is it. You know, next year you're not playing. You know, I don't think it's for skinny little Indian boys.
She told me that, like, it wasn't going to happen, and I was devastated.
I said, well, your friends are bigger than you, and maybe if you gain some weight. Like, maybe talk to me if you gain 25 pounds. Later that day, he comes back with an index card.
I wrote down, when my son, Shaan NAHAL, gains 25 pounds, he can play football again. And at that time, I was 65 pounds. I was like, Mom, if you sign this, I get to play, right? And she was like, yeah, sure.
And then he wrote a little X and a line, and he had me sign it, and I chuckled, like, yeah.
I needed it to be official, because I knew I was going to pull it out one day and be like, Mom, it's legit.
I never thought about it again until he presented it to me 3 years later. Shaan comes home from school in the 8th grade and says, Mom, they want me to play football for them in high school. And I said, no, you're not going to play football in high school? Like, no.
I've been working out with, like, my friends and stuff and just, like, trying to get as big as I could. I mean, I was ready for it.
And he goes upstairs and he brings down that index card. And I look at it and I think, did I sign that? Yeah, I did sign that.
I started playing quarterback at Davis last year.
Go. Set. Go.
I'm still the smallest kid on JV.
So the last home game of the season, Shaan gets tackled and is brought down. Everybody around me said, oh, looks like he hit his head on the ground hard. And so the next thing you know, he's out. That's the first time that I'm encountering this, and this is my fear of the game of football, is a head injury.
I'm fine. They say I have a concussion. I'm fine. He won't let me go back in.
It's not our call.
I know.
Call.
You said you couldn't see me. Yeah, on the field. I'm fine right now.
Sometimes I think, how am I going to react if Shaan does get a serious spinal cord injury or a brain injury? Then what?
Yeah, I'm scared every time I go out to the field, like, wow, like, I have a chance of getting severely hurt, like, Shaan, be careful.
As a mom, I've learned that sometimes you've got to, you know, put those things aside and take risks and do things that you're not comfortable with and see if there's benefits. Even though I still, you know, have apprehension and fear. It's stressful. It's very stressful.
When we return, for Steeler fans, following their beloved team is an act of faith.
The difference between my faith in God and my faith in the Steelers is this. God has never let me down.
Football Forever, an Outside the Lines primetime special.
Football means everything to this community. You know, it's a close game. Close? We gonna win. Ain't no close. It unites people. Stand up, you orange and blue. Go, go, go.
Pittsburgh is a very religious city. Sundays, definitely church and football are linked. And both things pervade the culture.
I wore my Ben Roethlisberger jersey to church because he's one of my favorite players, and it's just showing people that you have a lot of faith in your team.
I wear a Bradshaw shirt. My wife wears a Ben Roethlisberger shirt. These uniforms are wore out of respect.
If you're not decked out one way or another in the team colors, then you're out of place.
If somebody were to wear Patriots jersey, our pastor would probably, take them aside for prayer.
Support for the Steelers is a uniting factor for us. And it also gives me, as a rabbi, if I know about the Steelers, it makes me more accessible to people.
The difference between my faith in God and my faith in the Steelers is this. God has never let me down. What the heck? The Steelers have.
Win or lose, good day or bad day, no one's going to take the place of my Steelers.
And that's why football matters, with its pull on so many of our emotions. That passion, though, after Sunday does collide with the facts and the concerns that divide us, those who watch this game and those who choose, in fact, those who burn to play America's game. And across that divide is the open question whether we will continue to have, as we know it, football forever. In Houston, for OTL Primetime, I'm Bob Lee.